Mazarin lives in the ruins of an old tower somewhere in the old part of town. I imagine one of the rooms in there is going to be a arboretum, kind of like an indoor sort of greenhouse. And I started modeling just this room. The building is going to be sort of a Gothic building. It's going to have arches, columns, and high voltage ceilings. You can see here, it's kind of like a cloister. And then in the middle of the room, we have this sort of garden area. It's going to have trees. I'd like to put more bushes in here. Maybe some bugs going around. So yes, it's a pretty pleasant environment, I think. You'll notice most of the game environments that I've done so far have been kind of dark and gritty, and this place is entirely different. I'm imagining that Mazarin's home is going to be a lot different than the rest of the world. It's going to be brighter, more realistic, and there's a story reason for that, which you'll find out later. So I'm going to go into a little bit about how I model this environment. As usual, I start off drawing some patterns here that I can use as decals. So I just drew these in pen and I scanned them in with the scanner. I'm going to model the environment in multiple separate pieces, and I'm going to make the height, depth, and width of each piece precise multiples of 0.25, because that will make it easier for me to fit all of the pieces together, and they'll just line up perfectly. I'm going to make some circles here because a Gothic arch is constructed from circles that are 1 radius apart. So I'm going to stretch my arch a little bit just for aesthetic purposes. Let me make sure the normals are correct on here. Alright, now I'm going to make the Gothic ceiling vault. By copying this arch, I'm going to extrude the arch all the way through and create vertices where the extrusions intersect, and then just delete the faces that I'm not using. Now I cut in the ribs, because it's a ribbed Gothic arch. Alright, now I bring everything into Unity, and let's just test and see if everything fits together properly. Let's see if we can, how easy it is to assemble everything in the editor. Everything's looking good so far. And we can just cut and paste the same section over and over again. We just duplicate it. They're all identical. We'll put it on the floor. We can just test and see what it looks like. can even walk around inside the environment and just test and see what the scale is compared to our character. And that looks pretty good. And the ceiling is high, kind of like almost like a cathedral or something, which is pretty nice. Alright, well, we'll continue working on this later on.